Okay, if you have found this video, then it is very likely that you have had issues with your Kubota front end loader. And specifically for me, it was the BX23S. I bought this brand new. It was delivered to me from Texas. I noticed when they unloaded it, when we set the bucket down, that the right side of the bucket was roughly an inch lower than the left side. I didn't care too much at the moment, 'cause for one, I was excited to get it, and two, we were pulling the bucket off and building our own attachment for it to use in our shop to move some metal around. So fast forward to now, we have the tractor out at out on our property, and we're doing dirt work and some grading and some things around the property, and it has become quite a nuisance at a minimum, and initially almost a disappointment, because I thought that it was something to do with either the manufacturing or the assembly of the tractor. So, like probably most of you, I troubleshooted. I have had this thing up on blocks. I've loosened bolts from the subframe. I have checked the tire pressures and gone through all the things that I could find online. And like most of you have experienced, nothing really seemed to help. So here is the fix that I found for this. So when I checked my tire pressures, all of the pressures were good. My front left and front right matched. My rear left and rear right matched. They were the same pressure. So that led me off into other directions. I disconnected the front end loader. I was looking to see if it was twisted or warped. The bucket, make sure that it's flat, that there's no bend or twist to the bucket. Everything that I found online, I went through it. And in the end, I wasted a lot of time, because the fix was actually very simple. And here it is. I took a level, placed it at the top of the left tire, and then measured the distance to the ground from the bottom of the level to the ground, noted this measurement, walked around to the other side of the tractor and did the same thing. And what I found was the difference in the height of the tires was a problem. My left rear tire is 3/4 of an inch taller than the right rear tire. And these they were brand new when we got it. So my assumption is that it's either a manufacturing issue, or it came from two different runs when it was manufactured. So they didn't come off of the same basically production run, and created the difference in the heights. Now, 3/4 of an inch sounds like a lot, and I will tell you, it is a lot for tires that are supposed to be the exact same size from the same manufacturer. With that being said, a business that we owned, we used trailer tires for our product. And I cannot tell you how many times we had issues where we had clearance issues, because we would order a group of tires, a bulk load of tires, and we would put them onto our product, and there would sometimes be clearance issues, because the tires, even though they were the same brand, same tire size, they were noticeably different either in width or in height. And in this case, I don't know about the width, but I can tell you without a doubt, at the same tire pressures, there's a 3/4 of an inch difference in the height of these. Now, how does that translate to your bucket? The tire pressure in the front tires is not really as important on these tractors, because the axle assembly. So the front tires, in theory, can move over uneven ground surface, and the bucket should stay relatively level as long as the back tires are still level. So if one of your rear tires is taller than the other, it's going to cause the tractor to sit at that same tilt, which translates into a bucket that does not sit flush to the ground. So in my case, the bucket was roughly an inch different from the right corner to the left corner. So what I did, rather than replacing 2 tires and running the risk of those 2 tires not being a match in height either, I took air out of the high side and increased the air pressure in the other side. And now I'm going to walk over and show you how my bucket sits on the ground, just resting basically in the float position on the stick. And you'll see the bucket is perfectly level now. So I'm sure, like most of you, you have exhausted all of your testing and fixes and internet searches. For me, having this new, obviously it's under warranty, I did not want to take it back to a dealer and have to deal with the downtime of it being there. So that was what led me to basically explore all the fixes. I'm glad I did, because it familiarized me with the tractor and how it's put together and all that. So if problems do arise in the future, I will have generally a pretty good idea of which direction to go with that. So, but hopefully for somebody who is just now experiencing this, with this video being basically the end of 2024, this will pop up for you, and you won't have to sift through all of that other information if this is indeed the problem. Obviously, if the tire pressure is not the problem, then you're going to have to explore those others. But like I said, I implore you, before you start loosening bolts and taking stuff off and measuring, and with that being said, if the tires are different sizes in the back, when you take your measurements anywhere else on the tractor, those measurements are going to be off because the tractor's off, and it all starts basically here. So before you start doing anything else to your front end loader, the tire pressure may or may not be the issue. It will be the issue if your tires are the same size from manufacturing. Then having uneven pressure will cause the bucket to be higher or lower on one side. With that said, if you find that you have checked everything else, come back to the tires, measure the height of the tires, and if they are off, without a doubt, that is at least contributing to your bucket not sitting flat on the ground. So I hope this video helps some of you out there. I know for me, I was kind of at my wit's end with it, and that was the last thing that I checked. Just again, from having our business before and having experienced that, I wish I had thought of it sooner. But hopefully, this saves some of you some time and aggravation and hassle, because when you're doing dirt work and you're trying to level things and smooth things out, it's a real pain to have one side of the bucket lower and to have to grade, cross grade, and do all the things that you need to do to get that flat, whether it's for water runoff or just aesthetics. So hopefully this helps. If you have found something that's worked for you, please feel free to leave a comment and help those who are having similar issues. Maybe post what was a fix for your tractor front end loader, and hopefully somebody can find this information useful.